All right, everybody, welcome back to the channel. We're going to take a quick peek at the February 6th patch notes for Arena of Valor. I did a pre-release video, but Allain and Ishar was not in that, and a few other battlefield adjustments were also not in that. So let's just take a quick review of what has changed as of the February 6th patch. It looks like there are some battlefield adjustments here. It says, we have observed that the current battlefield environment, the weight between Dragon and Slayer is too high. It says, once defeated, the Infinite Slayer, between the 15 and 18 minute mark, the opponent can almost surrender directly. So they're saying that the Slayer is too important. So it looks like they are reducing the buff that the Abyssal Dragon and the Holy Dragon give you. So the damage to lane creeps and heroes goes down. And then the Infinite Slayer buff is being reduced as well. So the shield is being reduced from 15% to 12%, and the damage buff is going from 5% to 4% of max HP. So there's some nerfs there to the buffs that you get from the objectives. Then we did review the Zanis update. It's interesting how they explained it. It says that Zanis is currently performing poorly in all segments. It says that his output is sufficient and the lifesteal provides good survivability, but when Zanis is being kited, the shortcoming of his short legs is clearly visible. And I completely agree with that. I have always had trouble engaging with Zanis. He's just, you can't get to the back line, you can't get anywhere useful to do anything with him. So it looks like he's also too reliant upon damage equipment, which forces him to buy damage equipment, and then when he gets kited, he dies quickly, gets squishy. So it looks like they have reworked him completely, and we knew about this. His all of his abilities, skill 1, skill 2, and skill 3, cleanse control effects, and when he cleanses a control effect, he gets a stack, and those stacks provide attack damage and reach. So he gets 35 points of range and 15 to 29 points of attack damage for each stack. And in my testing, the only trouble that I had with him was actually getting the stacks. It seems like some of those control effects only last for half a second to 0.75 seconds. So if you don't hit it just right, you can't cleanse anything and you don't get those stacks. So that'll be interesting to see how Zanis mains kind of work with his new passive, and if they're able to get those stacks up that increase his reach and his attack damage. So skill 1, Bloodworm, is pretty much the same, but it increased his damage ability. Skill 2, Tail Sweep, also not too different than what it was. And then his ultimate is he leaps at his target and gets true damage and reduces their movement speed. So none of that other stuff changed too much. Maybe got a little bit more, some more stat lines there. So then Kaine got nerfed. We saw that, and in the pre-release, and it confirms it here. In general, he's weaker in the early stage, but strengthened in the later stage. They're making him more of an assassin type build. So you can see his adjustments there. You can pause and look at him if you need to. Then Ishar, this was one that was not mentioned before. She did get buffed. And her Furball ability, the Furball's durability, it says, we hope to reduce the number of cases where Furball suddenly dies and Ishar is left alone. So I don't know, this thing seems pretty hard to kill already. I don't know what's up with this, but they did give Ishar a buff. Furball has more HP, more defense, and more magic defense. And then skill 2, the shield, which they've just fixed an error and reduced the cooldown of the shield. So it'll be interesting to see how Ishar works out with these adjustments. Allain was buffed, not too much though. In the previous adjustments, we removed the immobilizing effect of Allain's second skill, but also allowed Allain to move while using the first skill, hoping to strengthen the interaction space between Allain and his opponents. However, judging from the data, the current movement speed of Allain's skills is a bit too conservative, so we've optimized it. So Allain self-deceleration when moving and casting has been reduced. So I guess he's moving faster now. Not too much there, but it looks like he's just getting a little bit of a movement speed buff while he's casting his skill 1. Then Lorion buffed. We saw a video about that in the previous pre-release notes. 50% damage reduction during flight. He can actually take a main base tower shot without dying. He can take a couple hits before he dies. So that's interesting for Lorion. If you're a Lorion main, some of this stuff makes a little more sense to you. Yebeneth got nerfed. We know about that. Looks like his base damage for skill 1 and skill 2 was reduced. And then system optimizations. When a match is found, the penalty for not clicking to confirm will be doubled on the second time, and 1 point will be deducted from each unconfirmed match. So if you don't accept a match twice in a row, you'll be waiting a lot longer this time. And then a couple bug fixes that we don't normally go over. So some interesting changes, interesting patches. The change to the Dark Slayer and Abyssal Dragon will be interesting to see if we can feel those in the late game. And so I hope you enjoyed the video. This was just a short review of the February 6th update. And if you did enjoy the video, please like and subscribe to the channel. It really helps to build the algorithm. And if I can get up to 250 subscribers, I'm going to host a tournament, just a subscriber tournament with bring your own team. So it'll be a lot of fun. So please subscribe, tell your friends, and I will see you guys on the battlefield.